I have a 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe right here. We're in a bit of a mess, but that's what you gotta do to get access to this guy right here. So this is a 3.3 motor. I'm doing both cats on it. Front bumper does have to come off because, you know, these guys in Infinite Wisdom couldn't make this removable. Alright guys, we're getting a little deeper on into this. Got those all broke free. They're 14mm. Make sure you unhook the battery when you're doing this. Ask me how I know. Have it out here in a second. Alright, so this is the way in which this front cat is going to come on out. Let's go. Slide on out this way. You do have this little bracket, 12mm, right on up there. Dipstick, you're just going to have to come out with a weld. This one I've already pulled. Dipstick was mounted right about there. Make sure you disconnect your battery, because when you're trying to break that stud loose, you will make contact with that guy right there and it will arc. And you'll have a bad time. Alright, wide pipe removed. 3 bolts for the heat shield, the upper O2 sensor removed. Now it's just those 14s, and that cat should come right on out through this hole back here. If you drop any of these bolts for the manifold, they're 10 by 125. Right here is where your O2 sensors for the rear are. Blue is the bottom, this tan color is the top. If you need to get these off these little tabs right here, you can see I bent them up just to pick underneath, and you see this little tab right here, just little tab, push that with the pick. When it slid down in there, there's only a little hole and they'll just slide right off. Okay, now drop this rear cat on out. We got her all broke free. Here we go. The 2 sensors getting hung up. Oh, what are you hung up on? Okay. There's a little tab right there. I might have to reach up there and get that out right quick. Alright, new cat is on in there. Just doing upper O2 sensors. That's all the customer wanted. Now let's just put the bolts back, tighten them down, heat shield, and then I have to do the O2 sensor. You can't do the O2 sensor before the heat shield, otherwise you will never get it back on. Alright, don't forget about this bracket right here. You just got a little 12mm. You take this guy out, you're fine. Just make sure before you tighten this cat back up that you go ahead and start this back, because once you draw that cat on up, this might not line up. These are dealer parts, but you never know. This is a bit overkill to be using to tighten these up, but you know what? They're tight. I don't want to have to do this again. Plenty. Alright, new O2 sensor is installed. Let's get tight. Oh yeah, that's more than plenty. What I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to zip tie this cord and this cord to the old existing O2 sensor, because it's still run on up there by that, and I'll just use that to pull them on up instead of trying to feed them up. They fall down, then you're trying to reach in through the top to grab them. Just zip tie them to that, pull them up, make your life easy. Just like so. Now I'm going to be putting my Y pipe back on in. I'm going to connect this, but I'm not going to tighten it yet. I still got a bracket to put in, and I still got all the bolts to put on up here. I just put the one just for the new cat hanging. Then I got a O2 sensor put back in. Alright, Y pipe is back up. These here are 17s. These guys back here are 17s as well. These guys are 19s. Make sure you pop this guy back on in. And that's reinstalled on the Y pipe. Now finish up top. Alright, got the front cat all buttoned up here. O2 sensor on in. Got a little 10mm that holds this bracket on right there. Make sure you get that. Clip back in, new O2's in, heat shield's back on. Your other O2 sensors on over here. About to pull up these in the back here. Do that. Just grab this here, just kind of finagle these guys. They're coming. They're coming. that is a whole lot easier than having to cram your arm down in there trying to grab these guys. So I'm gonna cut this and plug these guys on up. All right, got those on in there. Just kind of bend these back down how they were. Boom. Onward. All right, just slid the electric fan back on in there. It's 2 bolts. You got here, here, and down here. These are actually clips. You just kind of push on that tab right down there. This guy right here, and it'll pop right on up. You got your connector. Got another tab on over here, same as the other one. Just gotta push on this guy and it'll come on up. You got a hose mount right here. This one is actually broke. It had, best I can tell, it had broke long ago because I found it just chilling down there. This guy mounted just like so. We're gonna put what's left of it back on just because we're not the ones that broke it, but I'm gonna put it back as it was. Alright, got these little fins back on in here. You got 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3 right there. This side's a little tricky to get in and out because of the horn down here. And this one I just kind of bent out of the way. We'll just be right. Alright, we got these little brackets. On these as well as just about anything and everything. Alrighty, next step. Also, don't forget your dipstick tube that you had to remove earlier. Make sure you put it back. Remember, it's 12mm right there. Can't really see it. I actually almost totally forgot about it until I saw it sit to the side. I don't think this will focus enough for you to see it, but it's right down there. Easy peasy to pop in and out. Alright, front bumper's back on. I just got 2 10mm stab on in here. You're gonna have, oh, you can't really see it. You got a 10mm right up in here that you can put back on in or pull out, wherever you're at in your journey. That, and then we'll get to the bottom for all the skid plates, and we'll worry about that in a second. Alright, now we have this heat shield in right here. Don't worry about this bolt, this one, or this one. You want to take out this guy, this one, these 3 across the front, these 3 push pins. These 2 for this guy for pulling the bumper. And then this one, I had to replace this. A lot of these broke. Replace this guy and this guy right here. That is all that holds this lower shielding in and the 2 sides. Alright, gotta put this guy back on in. It's just push pin here, push pin here. These guys, for whatever reason, they were riveted on. I just drilled out the rivets. I'm not going to worry about putting these guys back on. It's just over-engineered. You even got these little tabs here. The ones on the side here have the same thing. It's just a pain in the ass. This one over here has it. So I'm not going to worry about putting these guys back on. Honestly, if I'd known I was pulling the bumper, I probably would never have drilled these out and it would have been fine. But all data doesn't tell you anything about pulling the bumper. It just says remove cooling fan. Yeah, that bumper has to come off for you to remove this cooling fan. Anyways, I popped this guy, so I've got a new one of these on the way. Gonna stick that on in. This guy, I'm not in any hurry to put this back in because I've got to do that first. But that's pretty much it. About to be starting it here in a minute once that part gets here. Alright, she's all done. Plate's back on in. The intake tube is back on in. The air box. Got that guy swapped out so I popped it. That's how you do cats on 13 Hyundai. Alright, so in closing on this, a few things to note. Make sure you disconnect that battery terminal. Don't do like I did and blow that fuse. So you're going to cost yourself another 13, 14 bucks. That bumper does have to come off. I don't care what all data says. I have the printout sitting to the side. I actually just threw it in the trash. does not help you. All it says is remove the cooling fan, and then the cat magically comes out. That's not how it works. Once again, this is one I could not find any videos on online. I could find it for the 2.4 and the 2.7, but not the 3.3. Good luck, and sorry you're in this predicament.